let's talk about it now. So, either Yu-Gi-Oh posted this, which is last night, Konami sent docs to tier 2 local stores saying they have to phase out Time Wizard or risk losing their OTS status. The first store to make announcements trying to adhere to this change is receiving a lot of backlash online, which we see here is Epic Cards and Games. Let's finish E3's statement. Konami is functionally forcing stores to pick between their grassroots communities that have grown at these local stores over the last 4 years of the Edison boom and their OTS status. This is going to hurt local businesses across the nation, and they just don't care. So let's read the Epic Cards and Games discussion. Hello, Duelist. Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament format update. According to Konami's official operations document for Tier 2 events, the Time Wizard format is no longer recognized as an official tournament format as of July 10th. It has been replaced by the new Time Travel format for Tier 2 Plus events. As a result, we are updating our weekly tournament schedule effective Wednesday, July 16th as follows. Epic Tournament points will not only be awarded for advanced format and Time Travel events. New weekly schedule, Wednesday at 7, advanced format and Time Travel. Thursday at 7, Time Wizard. We will continue running Time Wizard Edison at local once a week until Time Wizard is fully phased out by Konami official page. Friday, 7 p.m., advanced format in Time Wizard, GOAT. GOAT will also be maintained once per week during the transition. Time Travel at Saturday, 2 p.m. for Edison. And Saturday at 7 p.m., advanced format in Time Travel. I think this is like Redo? What is Redo? Is that Tengu Plant? I think maybe, I don't know. Thank you all for supporting Organized Play Epic. Oh boy, another man. Hey, Yu-Gi-Oh players, how does it feel having to deal with the stuff Vanguard players have to deal with? We're talking about Premium and Standard and V. Went the crazier way somehow. How do you do it?
Oh man.
I'm gonna let you take care of this. Go on.
All right. How would I put this lightly, right? How do I put this like in the nicest way possible?
You can't. Because what you're about to say is gonna make people
Uh,
mad anyway, so just
this was never gonna last. Time moves with a botched idea at the start. Does erase all these alternate formats on like the bottom of like a piece of paper. Time travel is the only way this game, these alt formats are gonna work out from the jump. All right. And I need the entire Edison community to hear this. You're not EDH. You don't have the rep. You don't have the like majority to deal with the main company co-opting your format. Holy cow!
say that again. They don't have the what?
They don't have the like maturity to deal with this situation, to like deal with like the main like company co-opting the fan format.
Okay, now that's crazy.
Kids are crashing out over like the most practical solution to like how to handle alternate formats. Right. People playing MTG Legacy play modern rules. People playing Block Constructed play with modern rules. People playing V, hell, people playing like old school Vanguard still kind of play with any comprehensive rule change that may affect the older format. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is the only game where you have a community of people saying, yeah, but our legacy format must pertain to exact old rules and rule book and structure of the game and legacy rulings that pertain to that time period. Only the Yu-Gi community is up to this nonsense. All right, and we don't need like every single YouTuber to go. I can't believe Konami has betrayed us again. Like, shut up.
The Fell For It Again award.
Fell for it again award. Hell, we saw like in Konami's initial announcement when they said, "All right, we're bringing back Time Wizard for this event." That they were clearly phasing it out for time travel. 'Cause you don't get right. Time travel, cool. Older format, get to don't have to worry about newer cards. Oh, wait, you mean we have to use like modern rules and like errata so the people that are new to the game also don't have to learn a format that did from like 15 years ago in order to play the game with old players? Yes. Like, I'm sorry, the Grognards don't get to just stake out official tournament support for a format only they actually can play. Right. Like imagine a bunch of Vanguard players like, yeah, all right, so we're gonna like force Busher at the latest play BTO6 format, and we want things to be the exact same. No rollings or anything. We just want to play good old fashioned 2011 BTO6 format, and we want official tournament support and prizes for our own sit down and play BTO6 format.
No one,
I think it's silly on the
no one,
face of it.
no one would agree to that because they're like, dog, that is not a real format. For one, BTO6 was not a real format because BTO6 was literally just BTO5 plus decks that didn't matter.
I mean, let's go format. Also, this is gonna be a complete side tangent. Edison's the worst name for a format ever.
I mean, it's named after the time period, right?
Right. And the name tells you nothing about that period. Go format. Scapegoat. Oh,
Well,
the previous scapegoat was
that's not true. Edison was the Edison YCS that started the format.
right. And that's a right. That's what I mean, right? Like if you tell someone like Haas, great name, great acronym, tells you the exact four heavily kings of the format.
I think
Edson's like, yeah, man, let me just sip some Monster Energy and tell you about the best Yu-Gi-Oh format ever. YCS Edison.
I'll admit you're kind of reaching with this. Uh,
This is my own person. Like, I don't like the name Edison.
yeah, you're just kind of
It's
reaching there.
personal thing.
But
Like, I don't know. I like how they're handling time travel. Though it's like, here's a year, here's like a year, here's like a set thing, bam. Time travel's a better format than Time Wizard. Like overall,
mm,
that's my biggest takeaway from this. Like, it's better on like all fronts except for a. I want to keep playing Edison the exact same way I've been playing Edison for the entire time, and you where you're like taking this away from us, Konami. Like,
that is
like, I get it. People want their legacy time capsule formats. They're better for the kitchen table, right? Than like at actual tournament like supported store or for like events in general.
mm,
It's also the issue like a closed loop format, right? Well, I mean not closed loop, just closed format. Like those are always gonna be terrible for any card game. Because like, why are you gonna support a format where you're not gonna make that much money off of new cards, and where most of the players already have their decks made for it? Like that's a bit of a problem if you think about it. V has the exact same problem. Cool. Oh no, V is in a better spot. You can print new V format cards. Konami can't print new Edison cards that aren't reprints.
mm.
So any bloke that's just taking table space or events or whatever already have their decks, already aren't purchasing more product, and Konami's not making any money off of them. They make money off of new players. New players are probably becoming from like Master Duel or whatever, and modern rulings. I probably prefer time travel over. Yeah, so here's all the rollings from like 2011, and here's the game played in 2011, and you got to learn all of this. Time wizard. Like, long and short of it is, adapt. I'm sorry.
Oh, you're gonna get people mad if they even watch this. Because thankfully, we can clip parts of the podcast now.
If a single person starts clipping this podcast, I am in danger. I will start having people come for my life online. All right,
Um,
what's your take on this?
I will say, so it's taking a minute to kind of think about. So it is exactly the same thing that is like happening with I think I remember listening to like the Pod Agree podcast when Paul and what's his name were talking about their opinions on it. And I think the point is like very much like, yeah, no, it's like part of the awkwardness is, hey, here is so I think the issue that is kind of being played here is like, one, it's just like premium players in a sense of, hey, they're trying to phase out a format we really like after kind of saying you want to support it and then just saying, nah, we don't want to support it no more. That feels messed up. And I can get that.
Right.
But I think the issue is not really Edison itself, but more so kind of a whole other discussion about the state of the Yu-Gi-Oh card game as a whole. That
Yeah.
like this is more than just, oh no, they're stopping playing Edison tournaments where you can pay the store. You know, yes, that's bad because like the stores could have spent that time on a whole other like game itself so that they can make money and actually like survive, right?
Right.
Because like that could be like something else that like some of these like formats, these time wizard formats, that's a Thursday, that's a Friday, right? That's a Thursday and a Friday slot that can be switched up for literally any other game. That'll probably get them more money. Maybe like a One Piece, right? Maybe a One Piece, maybe an upcoming Gundam, maybe some Hollow Live. These other like games that are very important. But this store really does support Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Using the store as an example, right?
Right.
But it's crazy to think that. But it's crazy to believe that this is only because of just Edison. This is the same logic I think people kind of feel that Bushiroad is going to take, which is, hey, uh, we don't need to keep this around anymore. We don't need to have a format that doesn't really make us a lot of money. And people were talking like, well, what are you talking about? You can release product for this. This is not this. And people, I assume they're only saying this mainly because they're thinking of Commander. And I have to say this right now. Commander is a totally different beast.
Yeah.
Because Commander releases new cards for a format that takes everything.
Right.
Time Travel and Time Wizard are locked formats. And again, like you said, like with V and Vanguard, you can print new cards and it be fine because it's whole thing. Even with something like Modern or some other legacy format that people play, right? You can
Right.
release new cards because those formats have a flexibility to them that an Edison or a Time Wizard event does not have. Because the point is, like, yeah, those are cards that were released during that time frame, during that time period. You can't, within good reason, add new cards to that format. If that's the case, then if I release like a 2-player starter deck for a format that was released in 2014, that was 11 years. When did Edison happen? Like Edison format, when did Edison happen? 2010. The 2010 SJC in Edison, New Jersey. That was 15 years ago. What the hell am I doing as a company releasing a reprint only set of cards from 15 plus years ago? Anyone with a brain, I think, would tell you, not a brain, but with a business like come would tell you that makes no damn sense. Now, granted,
Well, new product, when products already doing hot, you want to store more product?
yes, like that's another issue. Product in Yu-Gi-Oh! In the modern game is dropping. Like let me pull up this Duelist Advance. Let me see if I can find like booster boxes. Let's look up Duelist Advance here. Duelist Advance on TCG Player currently is going for less than $40. The MSRP usually of Yu-Gi-Oh sets is like $60 to $80. Keep in mind, this is also a set that has Sky Strikers, that has Vanquish Soul, that has the Art Mage, that has the card that will eventually be like for whatchamacallit, the Drago Tales, the next set. Let's see. I know this is a card that the House of Champs was talking about that is crazy. That's like as high as it is. The Altered Gaga Girl is $20, $23 for Gaga Girl. A collector's thing for people who like Zexal. If an Altart this cool is $20, something's wrong. If you're telling me in a set that has Sky Striker's like best Link monster, $18 as a secret rare. Su's an ultra and costs $30, but it's for a top tier meta strategy, right? No other secret. Let me actually look this up here. Let's kind of take a look towards the singles here. Card type, printing, rarity, secret rare. Let's take a look at the secret rares. A grand total of one Seek card is over $20, and that is the Medius secret rare.
My box start at $90.
Also, please keep in mind, when this set released, this card was around let's see, a month. this card was not looking at $23. This card was like cheaper. Like I don't know why it's updated, but like this was like I remember seeing this like for like $15 or so. This is for Art Mage.
Yeah, you know it's not right when you're checking Amazon.com with the dual sense and thing. This is the Konami store minus 45%. Mine came out 2 weeks ago.
Set came out.
Oh wait!
Set came out last week, dude. No,
I'm taking the wiki.
oh, 2 weeks. Yeah, never mind. Sorry.
Yeah, it's only been 2 weeks in the main set's down 50% in value.
Yeah, so I'm just like, what makes you think? Yeah, so I say that not to be like, oh man, there's I say it to say, what makes you think that is going to be enough to justify people like spend money on cards that you can get for nothing? And I say nothing facetiously because these cards are either have been reprinted a long time, you know, some of them haven't reprinted a long time. I saw like was it like Duke Frog hadn't gotten like a low rarity print in ever.
Right.
Like there's like obviously some cards here and there, but it's like they could just be reprinted in other like reprint sets, right? Like you could just reprint them in there and you get them there. There's nothing that crazy to reprint like that.
No.
Like they reprint. Sorry. But they reprint sets, they reprint cards all the time, basically, in any side set worth something. Why would they? Why would, when product is burning, they literally can't give it away fast enough?
Right.
Why would they spend time making structure decks for a format that people who live in 2020, there are probably people playing Yu-Gi-Oh that have never seen Yu-Gi-Oh 5Ds. You want them to have a structure deck with goddamn Dandelion in it, that has cards that were around when they were born. Like I don't understand that idea. Like the product's not gonna move you make specific things. This is not Commander. It will never be Commander. So you need to kind of get that off the way. Talk about they can make money off that. They can't.
No,
they can't make money off of stuff now.
And like we can drag this even further, right?
Okay.
I guess I just said it. What, start printing goat and hacking people now in structure products? I mean, that would make sense. You know, you guess get our factory print.
Yeah, reprint Lancia.
Right. Like, more product.
And it's like, well, you gotta cancel this. No, they can't, because most of that detail, the stuff they do, while goofy, part of that is also because they gotta import sets from Japan that they can't just sell on their own. Like we talk about how there's so many Yu-Gi-Oh products. There's way more Yu-Gi-Oh products arguably in Japan. What they do is consolidate some of those like extra sets or like mini sets and put them into a bigger set and put them in the West, so that you at least get those cards.
Right.
And guess what? Those sets do not sell a lot. Mostly because those sets either come too late, or they're full of a bunch of support cards for archetypes that are not competitively viable. Which goes.
And all the people saying, well, we just do things like the OCG. Man, it's only going to do even more damage like the system here. Let's be real. Like you're gonna get cheap card bases. Stores gonna be losing more money.
and but it's like I think it could work, but it also means it requires a few things for it to work, and it requires them for stores to know in advance this is going to happen, so that they can prepare. But even then, you still can't get rid of cards fast enough.
Like you need a critical mass of like sealed product purchase to be viable. Which unfortunately, Western TCG culture says if you buy you're a bigger idiot than anyone.
No, it's more like if you buy sealed product, you either are an idiot because you're buying stuff that you probably will not get, or or you might be low key a scalper or something. Especially if you get it en masse. Right? It's like I'm getting all this stuff. It's like you're scalping. Which
like, you have to change TCG culture here.
Which to be fair, yeah, buying stuff for the kids and buying stuff that other people are gonna have, but that's a whole different thing. Then quite literally a set that drops is at half off. Nobody wants that shit.
No.
It's like they can't give it away fast enough, dog.
Like, as much as people want to hate it, it's at least not throwing the bone. And like, it's some form of bridge.
And then
between new and old.
Then let's also just not forget let's also kind of add this to it too. There's obviously a whole other discussion, which is kind of like, again, the reason if product was selling, if they're able to move this product reasonably, they probably would take a try and make a hit, like try and take a hit like the like an Edison product or a GOAT product. But it's not. In the West, especially in the United States, where we're in a point where like people cannot even go to Evo. People don't have the money to go everywhere. Like the money is tight. The price of the brick went up.
Yep.
And you want a business to take a hit in a recession, potential depression, so that they can reprint a bunch of cards from 2010 and earlier?
Yes.
Nah. You got me fucked up. This is Jerome be like, all right, now y'all all smoking crack. What is wrong with y'all?
I mean, I gotta be real. It's gonna sound silly, sound a little bootlicky, but they're not making their case. Paying people in charge of us are like, fuck Konami. The modern game is trash. Don't want Konami to deal with our game with Yu-Gi-Oh anymore, and so on and so forth. They're not making a case to keep their format around.
Mm-hmm.
The commander guys are smart to be like, hey, you know what? WotC, we see you. You see us. Let's work with this. We're gonna have the rules committee work with you guys. We're gonna make things happen. All right.
I mean, to be fair, you say that as if that also doesn't apply to people who are premium only and have some certain thoughts on standard. Not everyone, but if you understand what I'm getting at, you understand that it's like, people kind of also sound like that. It's like, standard's trash. I want to play premium. Give me premium support. Give me everything support. It's like, okay, but like, you're telling me our game is trash. Give me support.
Right.
Your game is trash. Give me support for your older thing. And
it's like, not the signal you want to send.
Yeah, you're sending mixed signals here. It's like, what's going on here? Now, granted, here's the thing. You were talking about, oh man, this is feeling like corporate shilling. The whole segment's corporate shilling, feeling like corporate shilling.
Yeah,
We came out
yeah.
immediately saying you came out immediately said that you're all whiny babies. I don't know what else we could say. But I do agree with this other part. It's like it you can't. I agree with this from TPPS, from Paul's statement. You should not rely on Konami to handle your fan made format. Like a lot of the like he kind of says it in the craziest way, but he kind of says it like this: like you should never go back to your abuser. You shouldn't go back to your abuser asking for help.
Sure.
And that's kind of what it is. This is an abusive relationship. You got it's like you can't go back to your abuser asking for help. You gotta get get help with somewhere else, or do it yourself. You cannot just rely on Konami to take care of things you should be taking care of.
I mean, you don't see the robbery players asking for like reprints and remakes of old structure decks.
See who?
You know, the robbery of warlords players. You know, the other format that's like structure deck only. You don't see them asking for remakes of old structure decks.
Yeah, because they still on the shelves.
Like there's other formats here that were on that sheet. They got nothing.
So
Also, it's kind of funny to think about this all star because of a crumpled up piece of paper in the Konami like documents that said, "Here's some fun formats to play," and it all just spiraled out from there.
so here's another thing, and this is another part too. It's like there's also kind of general discussion about the state of Yu-Gi-Oh itself, because I watched that MBT video he dropped last night. I was like, he kind of says it like this, like he's meant to be kind of like a discussion about like why he feels like no one's playing the TCG, why it's like it feels lonely when talking about discussing the TCG, and why that's the case. And his video is kind of like his like answer of that is like, it's part of it is Master Duel's fault, and I'm like, it's like you aren't wrong,
Yeah.
but the other part is that Yu-Gi-Oh is battle spirits. The reason, so let's talk about the whole thing, is like why I put that thing is like Yu-Gi-Oh is just battle spirits but longer. But Yu-Gi-Oh, especially in the West, refuses to actually try something to make people get into the game more.
Right.
Like it has been 4 or 5 years since Rush Duel's release in OCG. Why are we why are we releasing the anime for a card game that doesn't exist? And then they're having to have Lil Timmy come through. They want Lil Timmy to watch Rush Duels on Disney XD or Hulu or whatever.
Yep.
They go to a local card store or go to their local Target or Walmart and see either no product or old product.
Zex, your mic keeps cutting out randomly.
Does it? Hold on.
Yeah.
Okay. Please don't tell me you're kind of you're messing up now. Please, no. So what I'm trying to say is like it's either they're expecting Little Timmy to watch sevens. Say, oh my goodness, I want to play the Yu-Gi-Oh card game. Go to either their locals or to the Target or the Walmart in their neighborhood. Find cards that are not Rush Duel, but are Yu-Gi-Oh, have the Yu-Gi-Oh brand on them. Pick up a structure deck and then open the cards, and like these don't look like the cards I know I've seen. And when they try and learn it, they're confused because they're like, what the heck is all this?
Yep.
And it's
Like,
like, sorry, go on, go on.
you know what the crazy part is, right? And this is both Konami of America and like the player base's problem. Why is it that like the only solution to man, modern Yu-Gi-Oh is trash right now is not to reinvent the game, but to go backwards? Like there's a certain mentality afoot there. Like it's some toxic American brand nostalgia where it's like, all right, surely all we need to do is stay with the good old days that we were picked up our bootstraps and play things old fashioned. It's like, no. The answer is to move forward and turn in a new direction. Play things differently, not older. Speed duels, fun. Fun little gimmick. Great. Cool. Not the answer. All these retro formats, still not the answer, because you're still gonna at some like we need a new Yu-Gi-Oh! That's what Russell was like, right? Like
Hmm.
Japan found the answer. It's not to go backwards, it's to go forward and to the right.
Yeah, I think that's the whole thing. I think that's why also a lot of games are kind of contemplating, have been considering and adapting rotation into their game. It's because I think a lot of games have also kind of realized we can't keep this up,
Nope.
and because it's going to hurt. Again, we just talked about Bowser's right before this. The reason they're doing this whole Shinka project, whatever, is because they feel like there's been too many mechanics and all this other stuff in Battle Spirits that they have decided we gotta restart. We gotta start from the drawing board. We gotta update the game. We gotta make it easier for people to get into the game, into the series, combine it with a new
It's not
anime, and we
I don't even
go
think a
from
new
there.
master role would solve it, Proto. Like that
No, I'm not talking about a new master rule. Oh wait, you're talking about to someone
right.
in your chat?
Yeah.
Oh, but it's like, no, I don't think a master rule is the issue. I think the issue is that they don't like Konami has the answer right there. It's rush duels. Like,
Yep.
does it help the rest of the TCG? No, but it is a boarding point to the rest of the game, to the franchise, to the series as it stands.
And that's the thing. It doesn't even have to be like a transition point. It could just be a damn new good game that stands on its own.
Yeah, like we can have, if Bandai and Bushiroad taught us, you can have two games running at the same time. They're basically the same thing.
Right. You can just have Yu-Gi-Oh! 2. There's no need for all this shenanigans, just Yu-Gi-Oh! 2. Yu-Gi-Oh! Whatever. Give
And
it a
then
catchy subtitle.
it really is, but it's like I still think about every time I've heard, I've watched a Simo video that isn't a prog where he goes and talks about, oh well, oh well, here's, there's rush duels, or there's like these, dual links, and all these other formats that aren't real Yu-Gi-Oh, and it's like, and I just sit there and I'm like, dude, how? And then and then I see that tweet he talks about, like he's trying to teach someone about Yu-Gi-Oh. It's like, whole thing. It's like, man, it's almost like those other not Yu-Gi-Oh things are kind of important right now, because
Right.
real Yu-Gi-Oh is too hard to get into for little Timmy.
You teach little Timmy, like, even the basics, right? And, you get a little Timmy that, understands it. Like, all right, what's going to happen? They're going to hop into Master Duel. They're going to get Wombo Combo by Fiend Smith. And it's just like, and then little team is gonna stop playing the game.
Yes. But if little Timmy learns rush duels and goes on to Duel Links for something, and it's like, oh, okay, this has learns that rush duels and Duel Links, he'll play rush duels and he'll learn rush duels and he'll understand the game slowly. He'll get an ease of the speed of the game while understanding the base core mechanics of Yu-Gi-Oh! In a sense, and that could possibly transition. Or he just plays rush duels. There are a lot of people I know personally that when rush duels got revealed for got put into Duel Links, they just became exclusively rush duel. They abandoned speed duels. It's almost like you can just be a fan of the IP with just playing a different version of the game.
And like speed duels kind of exposes the problem of like, after one of the second speed duels entered the modern era, people fell off of Duel Links. It's almost like the problem isn't even the rule set or like a master rule. It's the goddamn cards themselves.
Mm. Yep. I think this is like the cards have just speed there. It's like, I mean, that and just the effects are just the skills are just insane. Like Rainbow Neos is a card that was not designed to have you search out Rainbow Dragon
Right.
and Elemental Hero Neos and to make it turn one. Or rather, you can do it, but it's also like you're not supposed to immediately have that in OTK your opponent immediately off of it.
I mean, I can't wait to log into Duel Links to get Sword Soul comboed. So fun.
Which that's another discussion. It's like there's like you can be a fan of the IP and this franchise, but you don't have to interact with the card game all the time because you have other ways of doing it, right? But now we don't have much. We don't have a Yu-Gi-Oh card anime. The animation chronicles are only going to last until apparently November, something.
Like November, I think.
And people who watched the Sky Striker one were already so turned off by the fact that one was just so booty cheeks. I don't know if we can get more people like that.
I mean, the Brandon one was kind of better for the first one.
I mean, they're gonna have 6 branded episodes, so they have more time to actually like flesh out. I say more time to flesh out. They're gonna like speed run multiple arcs real quick, but it's like
Right.
But like you can already understand what's going on in the Brandon one. But the Sky Striker one, being so butchered.
The Sky Striker one's weird. Like, there's a manga like right there. They could have just done a regular manga adaptation. Which is weird to think about because like there's several arcs in that like manga. It's like cool. All right, you're doing Sky Striker, then we're doing Endymion, then we're gonna be doing this and the other. It's like I don't want an Endymion anime.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
So that's
we're just getting clip shows.
So I think I got off track. I think the whole point is more like, the point is to keep paper play. And it's like, well, how do you have paper play if if it's hard for new players to get in, old players being disenfranchised with the modern game, Master Duel is its own demonic beast.
Right.
And you won't bring in probably the only other answer you have within reason. So then at a certain point, the only answer is what every other card game has kind of realized at this point, which is we gotta reset. We have. I think that's just the tragedy of it all is like Yu-Gi-Oh has been here for 25 years, has not made a single it had like soft resets with like Arc 5 and 5Ds and Zexal, with all the anime kind of, but with no anime. There's only so much like legacy support you can give to decks before it's just like, all right, dog, I'm tired of seeing all these anime archetypes being like refreshed. I'm tired being like given cards only for them to not do anything in the meta. Which is crazy because when you read those cards, you think about if this was 5 years ago, that deck would be like top tier.
Right.
Like I'm reading the DDD cards, I'm like, that stuff should be meta on release, but it probably won't. I read the Utopia cards, they dump out level 4s. But they're a sub archetype for Ryziel.
Huh.
The adding Nistra cards, if they were printed back when Vrains was airing, instant top tier deck. Like they're good cards. They are really good cards, but there's no place to play them because the top is a whole like chasm between this and the mid core, and that's what 18 APS was trying to get at, is the mid core doesn't exist, and it's frustrating. That's the same thing Solom said in his video. It's like Yu-Gi-Oh is either really really good at the competitive, it's really fun at the competitive level outside of like the Charmies and the Maxis and all them of the world, and the casual place where you just don't care, you just want to play a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you just want to and go. You
But
just want
middle?
but the middle, oh no, y'all the oppressed. The middle class is more oppressed.
Like, here's the problem, right? It's like, guys, just go to locals, right? You can play your pet deck at locals. I have so many friends telling me that. I'm like, sure, your locals might be low powered. Everyone else's locals are the complete toss up.
My locals
And
will,
you can't just,
yeah, it's like
yeah,
the Yu-Gi-Oh locals I went to, like I played, I'm like I got my ass beat. I'm like, what happened, bruh? I was playing against Bestial branded. When that was meta, I was playing against all things. I'm like, oh my god, I'm getting my ass beat, dog. It's
right.
like I was playing
It's like,
like,
what are you gonna do? It's like, all right, guys, casual decks only. I hope you guys all bought 2 different decks because this person is a casual player and they're just starting the game. So, you guys must have a second set of cards so things are fair. That locals experience is not transferable. There is no universal constant. All locals are low powered. There are some sweats in those stores.
yeah,
And the problem arguably is worse at the local level because if you have sweaty locals, where the hell are you supposed to play Yu-Gi-Oh?
you can't. You gotta play with your homies. In that case, you're just playing casual.
Yep. And now we're at the kitchen table level where, most card games exist at, really. Where anything goes at that point, it's like, cool.
Yeah,
You're not in this conversation anymore. And that's the problem.
and that's why product does not get bought, because like, all right, competitive players, if there's not a generic. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with my mic. What's going on here? But like competitive players, if there's not a uh, generic staple or a top meta strategy, they don't have to spend money. What they go and buy boxes for?
Right.
Casuals, they don't care. They'll just go on. They'll buy a box maybe for their locals or whatnot. But if their pet deck is a low rarity archetype, they don't even have to buy a box. They might buy a box, but they might just have to wait like a week and then go to their locals, look into the bulk bin, and just pull out all the stuff they want, and they get like spend like $4 or $5 on it max,
Yep.
because everybody threw all the stuff in the bulk. And then you have the mid core, which is a bunch of people who want to take out of those like $20 decks that they've always done. Those people who bought these structured decks and play, right? But they're going to get mollywopped by these cards that just have a lot more power, that do more for less.
Yep. There's at least one person out there that got tricked into buying Gen X support. It's like, man, I can wait to enjoy my new Gen X, and there's a hand trap.
And I got
Until that,
and they've gotten and they built a board with a bunch of disruptions. I'm gonna make it again, and it got destroyed. All right, pack it up.
yep. It's like right until that guy's like, man, that was a nice Gen X support you got there. Too bad any actual format you play it in that has any form of interruption, it's unplayable. Anything where it has no interruption, it's nigh unstoppable. Yep. Good luck having having a casual match anytime soon.
Yep.
Like
So
what?
that's why I think it is genuinely times, like, at a certain point, again, if Battle Spirits is like, we got to do it, one of the few remaining like long running eternal games said we have run out of space.
Right.
And we're saying, and everyone's been complaining for almost the better part of 7 years, 6-7 years, pretty much ever since Lynx came out, that Yu-Gi-Oh is very cramped in its design space, very like hard to understand, very complex. Maybe it's time we just reboot Yu-Gi-Oh.
Yep.
Like, I think about it all the time. Things that sometimes I'm like, Vanguard really wasn't that complex when we did the first reboot into V, and it really didn't need to be rebooted into D. It was just the issue of the power was just so off the charts. It's like, you didn't need to do that.
Like Vanguard's in a weird spot, right? 'Cause, like, you can make a very good argument that like there's a lot of design space they left on the kitchen table until like late V, when we started getting orders and all the markers and other like token decks.
Mm-hmm.
That was maybe like the peak of card design for Vanguard. It's like, all right, ignoring the power creep, we're doing some pretty neat stuff here.
And now here's the issue: is like, we've now kind of like adapted it, but we haven't gone further. Like, we've got blitz orders, we got set orders, we've got normal orders, but it feels like we're missing something spicy with all of that. That isn't just, oh yeah, we just multi attack. I think that's
The
another
problem
thing.
is that there's too many 5 attack resending decks. Like almost every other new deck is here's a 5 attack resender deck. But
Which
I
is
think that's
is
what's the
even crazy,
problem.
because when they revealed Not a Clear, people got upset because they were like, oh, it's just this 4 attacks, but it gets a bunch of power, it gets a bunch of recursion, and it gets triple drive. Yeah, but it only gets 4 attacks though. 4 attacks in 2025, ew. And it's like, we've lost the plot, dog.
Like the card designs kind of getting boring again with like the like outside the buddy fight stuff.
Which might be
Like we're
kind
kind
of,
of going
sorry, continue, sorry.
we're kind of going backwards in space. I'm like, can we please go back to like the V era where like, we're just cooking left and right?
It's crazy. It's even funnier because like, we actually kind of had that when we started with the Divines decks, and then also we just kind of lost something in there too.
Yeah.
It's like, what happened? Like, these are 6 fresh, new, interesting ideas of decks, and also we just kind of became multi attack the card game. Like I still firmly believe that Blackmire should never have had multi attack with a divine skill that says, yeah, you lose all your effects and you can't PG.
Right, like what?
Like what at what point was that reasonable to put that in there? And to have multiple variants of it now, it was like, yeah, no, I think that was a mistake.
Hey, Capcom, why is the season pass all Shotos? Like, that's what Vanguard's starting to feel like. Oops, all Shotos.
Dude, for Alex is a grappler.
All right.
So,
Like, again, I was looking at the Katana World stuff. I'm like, two Blitz orders a turn? Hold on.
but we
Like a
have
bunch of
that.
other like counter.
But we have that already in Lascaria.
Yeah. Like,
But they've done nothing with Lascaria to play on. Like they have the cool card design. They just don't play on the aspects that make them cool. Like again, Lascaria is
right.
really cool. Why does it only still have one unique Blitz order to itself?
Yep. And then it's like, I think the problem, right, is that the evergreen effects in Vanguard are kind of overwhelming. Does it draw? Does it restand? Does it gain bust 10,000 power? And does it gain a critical? Anything that's not those four effects do not matter in Vanguard. Because unfortunately, it's a game of Bushwood has forced it entirely into purely a game of math, right?
Mm. I, I mean, you're right, but this is supposed to be about Yu-Gi-Oh. I just we've kind of
Yeah.
lost, we kind of got off topic here, but that's what we're
I
like
mean,
trying to meet. It's like the point is like Yu-Gi-Oh Vanguard never really needed that reboot.
Yu-Gi-Oh does. Holy cow.
Yu-Gi-Oh does, and I feel like either because they need a hard reboot, they need a rotation, they need rush duels, they need something. That's the point. And the fact that Konami of America or Europe or whoever's like leading the charge in the Western Hemisphere, combined with how the player base kind of talks about not wanting a rotation or not wanting things, and again saying it's not real Yu-Gi-Oh for stuff like rush duels or speed duels, thus kind of ignoring it and not really like looking at the benefits to them.
Yep.
That is what is cooking the game. And it's like it's time we had that conversation of it's time to probably just stop or restart.
We need to see, they need to see the wider picture here.
It's like at a certain point, right? Like again, House of Champs made that video of Yu-Gi-Oh was falling off, and it's falling off because no one can play the game anymore.
Right.
Like all
Like,
these, sorry, but let me finish up here. All these discussions, like MBT talks about, like pretty much like all the pro players who can actually play this game at a competitive level, basically are all in one whole clique now, and it's hard to get into that clique. Anyone else, and now anywhere else you can get that information, it's very hard. Like you can't just go to locals and be like, "All right, hey man, you got information, this, there, that, or know this complex thing." There's so many complexities and so many like details.
you can't buy a spreadsheet.
Yeah, now you gotta buy details that other card games just don't, that would just give away for free. It's insane.
Yep.
Yeah, so that is uh pretty much that was like our main topic basically.
right? It's like Yu-Gi-Oh's falling apart, and anyone that everyone complaining about it falling apart doesn't want to do any of the changes that want to prevent it from falling apart. And their only answer is, yeah, but legacy formats. No, like it's so bad. Like your answer to I want to start Yu-Gi-Oh, where do I go, should not be, all right, we're gonna start with we're gonna start with GOAT format. All right, we're gonna pick some 20-year-old cards, and we're gonna get you ready for 2025.
15-year cards
What?
or 10-year cards.
I'm
Even though
I'm
toss would
going
be
all the way to GOAT.
like even though toss would be the closest thing to modern Yu-Gi-Oh, it's still not modern Yu-Gi-Oh.
Right.
That's how insane the levels have shifted in the past decade.
Like no other card game has this where it's like, yep, you gotta go back 15 years to learn how to play. No other card game has that, right?
Mm-hmm. That's also
Pokemon, you start now. Magic, pick up a Final Fantasy deck.
yeah.
Vanguard, here's standard.
Yeah, here's standard. Shoot, we got 2 starters coming out in a month. Pick it up.
Right,
Uh, Grand Archive, you can pick that up right now. Electrals, pick it up. Every set they release like 4 structure decks. Every starter decks, every set, 2 to 4 every set. Uh,
yep.
you know,
You can't walk 5 steps without tripping over a new One Piece starter.
yeah. And Gundam is gonna do the same. Uh,
Yep,
Volcana does it too. Like every set release a new structure deck, new starter deck related to that set to at least get people in to keep people into the game. Yu-Gi-Oh
right.
has Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't work on that timing. The fundamentals of Yu-Gi-Oh itself are flawed, and the current system of Yu-Gi-Oh in the West specifically is flawed to the point where it's like, then what the heck are we doing here, dog?
And I'm gonna say this is gonna sound silly. I think the other problem with, like structure decks nowadays for Yu-Gi-Oh being an older deck, but like where we've raised the floor on it for some reason, is also terrible logic for a starter product. We made old deck more complicated. Enjoy.
Like for example, the new usage structure deck. People are complaining about. It's funny to see people complain about the power fellows for the usage structure deck because it's more focused on the junk synchron
Yep.
archetype when it's like and it's not like, oh, this isn't really combined with the rest of the stuff that people play now, and it's like that's one, it's not the point of it, and two, even then, the fact that it also comes to the point. Secondly, the deck still, at least with the 4 cards we know, doesn't make that deck really competitive anyway. And three, because again, we don't have the mid core. And three, what else do we? And
You're
three,
not playing it anywhere.
yeah, you're not gonna play. You're not playing it anywhere anyway. You're this, of course, it's not support that thing because it's not meant to. And then it's like three is like, yeah, you increase the ceiling of a deck. You increase the ceiling of this deck, but that doesn't really help anybody if the core issue of how do I play this deck in the first place is not there.
Right? It's like, it's time for Wombo Synchro combo. That's what the people want.
Yeah, man. It's like Cool. I like this structure deck. Where's the start? Like we never had a genuine starter deck where it.
Right.
And the one time we did, it was that 2-player piece of trash that was genuinely horrible. That people only
And the crazy
bought
part,
for the reprint of uh Zeus.
dude, which is hilarious to think about, right? Like, there's a problem when your starter product only has any value as a Zeus reprint. Also, Manadium, I get Prime Art. It's like, were you putting those two cards in the starter product? What are we doing?
It's like it's not even like, oh, here's like 2 modern archetypes to really like learn the base of the game. No, it's a bunch of vanillas, some basic random uh famous cards like Blue Eyes, Red Eyes, Dark Magician, to teach you how to tribute someone, which no one has done since the Obama
Right?
administration.
Huh. Oh, that's sad.
And then they teach you one of these summoning mechanics for each deck, and like season of synchro. I was like, okay, can we go forward and learn more about pendulums and links or fusions? No, okay.
Nope.
Or rituals? No, okay. Like if they did like a 2-player starter set, but it's like you did like one for each variant, or like you made like I feel like there's so many ways you could handle it, and it's just like you just didn't do it right. Like not everyone likes synchros, not everyone likes to see this, right? Some people just really like
Like,
playing link monsters.
I would just release a new like wave of starter decks. Give them some simple names. Make them entirely new cards, and then
Like
maybe some spell and trap card reprints, and just say, "Hey, here's a new deck called Fusion Commander, found in the starter deck Fusion Commander, a deck focused entirely around fusion summoning and supporting fusion summoning, and then so on for every summoning type. Keep it simple, fresh new cards, maybe some low to the ground of simple but effective card design,
like
and actually feels like proper starter casual product."
like very least put like some anime characters back on these dang sets too. It's like on those sets too. Like you
Right?
have characters based on these gameplay styles, right? Like, and even then you have multiple characters. You don't even have to do that. You could put Blue Angel on the Link one. That's fine. Like a lot
Yeah.
of people like cute girl. Like you put Akiza instead of like you say on a starter deck, base it around them. Or maybe here's a thing: you could make brand new characters, make a new anime, put them motherfuckers on there, and maybe we got something here.
Right. Like, there's no reason that the ground for the Yu-Gi-Oh anime is 150 episodes show or bust. Like, what?
Again,
Huh?
Vanguard does 12-episode seasons. It's done 12 to 24-episode seasons. Like
Right.
Battle Spirits is going to get a new anime after like what 4 or 5 years, 6 years.
Like, who told Konami you have to run a show 3 years straight?
Like Duel Masters has like Lost, which is like once a month. Like, come on, y'all are like guys. I get it, Takahashi's not with us anymore, but y'all gotta have genuine like someone's gotta have a plan there.
Someone,
Like if that's the real thing. Yu-Gi-Oh doesn't have a plan anymore. It doesn't feel like they actually have a genuine plan on what to do.
they've been in headless chicken mode since Brains ended.
it's like at a certain point, like how much longer we got? How much longer we generally got where we don't need like an anime? Like cool, like the Russell team had a plan, but now they don't even have their anime anymore for
Yeah,
some
no.
reason. I get probably some production issues might have been the case for that, but it's like, what happened here? How did Russell just lose its anime slots like that, and no like actual discussion about like what's the plan, what's the idea, what's going on? Like nothing. Like
No.
like if the Master Duel era was a hellish chicken, the Rush Duel era the Rush Duel era was like perfectly fine, and all of a sudden uh it's just a zombie. It's like, what's going on, dog?
Right.
Anyway, I think we're done here. Uh that was our
I do like how all the lore decks now are like, here's guy in place on adventure and archetypes.
I mean, that's just because brand became probably their biggest lore thing ever, right?
Right. And then, Snake Eyes just, here's Baddie Witch in her life, and there's some goblins in the background. Cool. And now we're on Harry Potter or something.
Harry
Like
Potter,
they had
and
it so right with Dual Terminal. Holy cow.
I wouldn't say they had it so right, but the ideas of like we tell multiple stories going on at the same time probably was correct. So they
Yeah.
did try
Even
that
like
with
world like
what was it, with the Vsauce lore, but no one cared.
I mean Vsauce is also guy in plays traveling meeting archetype. I mean, sure, it was all completely in his head in some crazy Buddhist spirit journey, but that's whole other story.
Yeah.
Oh, it's about some dude ascending. Oh, what? What do you mean none of these places existed?
So he was ascending off of something. I don't think it was off of Buddhist principles. It was
And then I don't know, Fenrir ends up in Super Quant somehow. Like, where did Fenrir? Like, how does Fenrir account for all of this?
somehow Fenrir's evolved.
Somehow Fenrir escaped the mindscape. Cool,
Somehow Fenrir survived.
right?
Somehow Fenrir returned. That's what I was to say.
Maybe Fenrir's the only other real person in the Vsauce lore.